Manu Sundaram, Manu Sundaram, is this again the question I asked Moa? You may say you oppose all of this Hindu business, Hindu polarization by the BJP, but is the DMK also, like all opposition parties, somewhat pushed on the defensive on this? Your manifesto talked of grants to temples and to pilgrimage, subscriptions and all of that. In Kerala, we saw Pinarayi Vijayan saying that, Lord Sabrimala, the Lord Ayyappa is with us. He's not against us.
Well, our manifesto talks about much more, Srinivasan. You will remember that one of the key elements is the universal basic income that we've proposed for, which we will give to every women head of the family. And I really like much of the conversation. I was hoping much of the conversation in the last 40-45 days of campaign would be around that. But as you pointed out, as many people have pointed out, BJP has veered always back to this Hindu, non-Hindu, Hindu, anti-Hindu narrative, which is quite old and, to be quite frank, quite futile. No BJP leader who came campaigning spoke about development. No BJP leader told voters what they have done in the last 7 years sitting in the central government and what ADMK has done in the last 5 years here. And, the fact remains that nobody knows who the BJP took out of Vel Yatra. Let's for 1 minute assume that they had some justification for doing so. But who did they take the Yatra out against? Because the government here is the AIADMK, which is their own ally, and the government in the center is the BJP government. So it fails logic, it fails reasoning. But nevertheless,
yes,
they've woven a campaign around slander and innuendos. And I think, the words of the BJP Kerala president, Mr. Surendran, I think resonate quite well. He said in Kerala, one of the reasons the BJP doesn't have much success is because of the high literacy rate. And, I'm not saying that, that's the only reason, but it's also because they've not structured and campaign narrative around socio-economic indicators, around development. We propose the universal basic income because we feel that's the best economic intervention in a post-pandemic economy. We've proposed job schemes, we've proposed industrial development, so on and so forth. So, BJP is still back to their old games, Hindu, non-Hindu. I don't think people of Tamil Nadu have much time or energy for that.
Well, Tamil Nadu may or may not accept it, but it certainly seems to have got traction in West Bengal. But Shama Mohammad, the other strand perhaps linking this election is that is the Congress again emerging as the weak link? Because in Assam, it looks unlikely, if the opinion polls are to believe, that you're toppling the BJP. In Kerala, you might actually not get the back and forth another term as should happen. Puducherry, you might be losing. DMK alliance is perhaps the only saving grace for you.
Vasu, in Assam, last time we did not have the alliance with AIDUF. This time we have it. And last time the votes were split because of that. And this time we had, and you will see that we will win. In Kerala, let me tell you, we are going to be winning for sure. We had 78%. Last time it was 76% voting. This time it was 78%. And one of the most important things which Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan has learned from Mr. Modi is that say that we are winning. So when you must have visited Kerala, you would have heard a word called Tudar Bharanam, means we are repeating our government again. This is a psychological thing because there are lots of people who are, yes, CPM voters, hardcore. There are hardcore Congress voters. But there are those who sit on the middle and say, what do we do? Let's see. Okay, we don't want to have a hung assembly. We will give it to the one who's going to win. So that is why. But when you look at it right now, after Rahulji's visit and the PSC exam scam which has come out, the deep sea fishing issue which has come out, all of them has added to the problems. The Adani issue which has come out about power.
But your own leadership, the leadership in Kerala, again, faction-ridden, no clear leader projected.
No, listen, we have no leadership issues. We will decide who will be the chief minister. We have very good leaders in our party. And let's not forget that in Nemon, the only seat which the Bharatiya Janata Party has, we have put our sitting member of parliament from Vadagara, one of our tallest leaders, Mr. Muralidharan, so that they don't get any seat this time. We are clear about BJP. They are not going to win anywhere this time. And let me be very clear, because of all these issues and also what most important is when does a government come back? When there has been development and when there has been policies. Development is only kit, because the development which they have done is the Gale pipeline and bypass road, which is our projects, which they did not allow when we were in government. They protested.
This is Kerala, though.
They don't want development for the people of
Okay, but I mean,
Kerala.
overall,
they want development only when they are in power. And
okay, let me move on.
Understood that.
Okay, fair enough.